Hey gang, it's Ark. Welcome back to our permanent fire challenge here in the Long Dark. Now, I believe we have survived 80 days. Let's see, Frankie's got about 7 hours of fuel. I want to do something that I should have done last episode, pretty much right away. We need some flour and oil. And I should have rose hips. We need this. I'm gonna make some more rosehip pies. First thing here. Still relatively early in the morning, so we're not wasting best weather getting this done. Let me just see what I need. Rosehip pie. I guess I probably don't have rose hips on me. So let's get... I think it only takes 8, right? 8 for the 3 pies. It's really efficient. So we should have it available now. There we go. And just checking here, we've got plenty of cooking oil, and flour is running a little bit low. Okay, so then another 45 minutes after that prep time. I don't think, unless this weather changes, I don't think I want to make another batch right now, because I really do want to get out of here. Let's drop this, and this. And I'm going to use this 45 minutes just kind of getting a little bit better organized here. Let's take one book. Make sure these aren't glitching out there. Gonna get maybe cleaned up a little bit here. Do I really only have the one cooking skillet? Quite possibly, I guess. Alright, let's see what I have in the way of fuel. We've got a lot of tasks. -14. Yeah, I think we're heading straight to Coastal Highway once this is done. We'll get more fuel on the way. We have a few stashes in various places. I think I'll try to pull enough torches that I can add one last fur before we head out. Okay, let's see. We have the one coffee. We got a couple of birch bark teas. Let's see if I have any other ingredients. Can make another reishi. And as far as ingredients that I already crafted up, I guess we're not going past camp office, so let's just leave this kind of out here. I'm gonna cut my weight down as much as possible. Fur, sticks, book. I'm assuming I'll start at least one fire, especially if we go for the bear. And I think rather than carrying this extra bow around, I think I'm going to leave this here. This will just be the bow that I use when I want to shoot wolves from time to time when they're getting close. Oh. Does that change my plans? I would like to get that bear. No, because I want to pick a bad time of day when I'm not doing something. So maybe late tonight or very early in the morning. I'll go shoot him and kind of pass time in the cabin for a few hours, waiting for him to bleed out. So this is the wrong time to do it. But it's good that he's back. Okay, so now we've got the bear hide from Forlorn Muskeg. Yeah, we've got multiple bear hides sort of on the way, as it were. Okay, let's get my teas ready. Let's move all this over here. Get these down as well. Guess I don't have time to do that reishi prep. I'll just kind of carry them with me. So when that's done, we're just going to grab it and go, I think. Let's eat some fresh wolf meat. Should really be picking this up and eating it, but it's okay. I think I have... Yeah, I got plenty of meat stash over there, so I'll probably transport some of it. Let's go ahead and throw fuel on. I think we're going to have to actually take a torch first. 1 or 2 torches. Okay, let's see if that's enough. Here's the fur. Okay, so I'll maybe grab... How many torches do I actually have on me? Quite a few. Yeah, that's probably good enough. Let's drop this ruined one out here. Okay, I think 2 sticks and grabbing another torch should do it. Perfect. 11:58. We'll take it. So grab that. Grab all of this. And let's go. Just double check and make sure I'm not carrying some insane amount of stuff. 26. Seems a little high. Maybe I should take just a second to kind of scroll through here and make sure that there wasn't something obviously bad. No, it seems okay. Alright. Now, I've been thinking something I probably didn't consider enough last episode when I was talking about the risks that we take and kind of what the MO should be for these longer trips. I was thinking that I should probably make a moose hide satchel to bring my carry weight while fully exhausted up to 30. And then I should just embrace like fully running the first half of a trip, if it's a long trip. And just allowing myself to get completely exhausted. Okay, we'll leave that food and water here. I think I actually brought potentially a little bit too much water. But that's fine, we can leave a stash of that anywhere. So this is not one of the longer trips. So I'm not going to do the running thing. We're basically just going into Coastal Highway to grab all the coal that I left behind. Possibly shoot a bear, but so I think I've determined that for like a normal trip into Coastal Highway, I could get as far as essentially all the way over to Misanthropes and do all the beachcombing on the way back. So this is a much shorter trip than that, so I don't need to run for this. Yeah, we do have the added security of the rosehip pies now. And I've got that coffee on me. So if we do run into trouble, I have the ability to run a lot. I do not have a stim anymore, so we really need to prioritize that pretty soon. Okay, let's go ahead and drink another one of these. And I think I'm going to quickly... Oh, we need to refresh this right now. Didn't realize how long it took to drink that tea. I think I'm going to grab a couple pieces of meat up here and transport them, because there's so much of it here, although it might need to be cooked, now that I think about it. There's the shortcut. Yeah, the meat is kind of over here. Let's just grab any of this that's cooked. And I want to leave it more over here. Let's take one with us. I don't know exactly how much I have in the other locations. Feels like it's been a long time since I did this shortcut. Maybe I don't even know how to do it anymore. There we go. Okay, now if I remember correctly, I guess we just try to run along this. Looks like my torch is just long enough to make this, so go ahead and run along here. Try to get to the flat part before we get a sprain. That's very close to being at the point where we would run out of sprain grace period. Speaking of, I'm working on my video about sprains, so that should be coming out, I don't know, either just before or just after this episode, I would imagine. No promises, but I meant for it to come out months ago, but I think most people who are regularly watching this kind of have a pretty good understanding of how the sprain mechanics work anyway. Just from seeing me use it over and over again. So I think the meat was possibly left on the other side. I'm trying to decide, maybe I should take this with me. Yeah, let me take it with me. And I'm going to grab what I see on the way over, but I think we should save the major gathering for the way back, when I'll have a better idea of exactly how much time I have. I haven't completely ruled out the possibility of shooting that bear in Coastal Highway. And just taking the hide and going home. It's pretty far, so I don't want to mess around with the meat. But it could be a way to periodically get an extra bear hide going, although I'm starting to think it may not be necessary. My current coat is in pretty bad shape, but it's kind of because I saved up those other coats for crafting the second coat, which we still need to get around to, by the way. I think I've got like 6 hours into it and needs 37 or something. So we got a ways to go. Really launched that torch. Okay, gotta remember if I do stop to make a fire that I can make more birch bark tea. In a way, especially for the really longer trips, taking into account the fact that I'm going to be tired at the end of them anyway, it really does make sense to just kind of burn through all my energy towards the beginning of the trip. The one problem is if it's a long trip specifically to gather coal, then I'm really just not going to have the carry weight towards the end of it. This does not look good. Let's change plans here. I think we can't actually go all the way in because this is turning into a full blizzard. I really wish I had noticed this a second earlier. Let's run over here. Nah, I just missed it. I was going to start a fire right in the shelter of this rock. Okay, well, these are long since cold. This is where actually the thermos would really help me. Because in a situation like this, I could probably go back in the cave, warm up.
Jeez, this is cold.
Actually, now that I think about that, I can probably do that anyway. So let's gather all the materials here. And then let's potentially just go warm up in this cave. I don't think... Yeah, because we got plenty of time on the fire. We're basically going to abandon the trip into Coastal Highway. And actually do something really cheeky here. And
Oh, so cold.
Get a rabbit to grab a hide while we warm up. Oh yeah, the mitts. Forgot about that. Okay, let's grab this back. Let's see if there's any stuff down here. Yeah, this is the one instance where it actually helps to kind of save your energy, because now I can run home through the blizzard because I saved all that energy up. It's not the cave, is it? No, the cave is up this way. Alright, I think I kind of looted all the birch bark out from here. We can check a couple of spots on the way out. Let's go grab this rabbit hide. We can warm up again in the trailer. So yeah, I just don't think it's going to be worth it. Feels like 12. Probably take a good amount of time. Let's harvest the hide off of here. Now, I think it actually requires... Oh, this is interesting. So, I'm going to try something a little weird. I'm going to take the gut with the knife. 12 minutes. This is significantly bloodier. Yeah, so now I can do this in 32 minutes by hand. We're very slowly warming up back here, so... Nice animation. Alright, let's drop that. I wonder if there's another rabbit out and about. Let's just do some crafting. We've got plenty of time since we're not doing all the other stuff, so let's just go and do all of these. Get them ready for when we get back. I don't have my hacksaw with me, so we can't go harvest metal in the dam. Just pass a little bit of time. Okay. Now we'll just run back. Try to check for a couple of spots where I might not have seen birch bark on the way in. Yeah, here's some sticks and stuff. Might as well gather up all the fuel too. Sticks and birch bark. Okay, I'm gonna say that's good for that area. Let's run down to the lower area now. Try to get up here and walk in the shelter. Not really getting any shelter. Yeah, it's unavoidable. We're just going to take a lot of damage on the way back. Yeah, that sort of heavy snowfall, I can definitely turn into a blizzard, as it did here, but sometimes it doesn't. I just wanted to, we kind of, I forget exactly what happened, but we were kind of planning to make this trip last time, and we got robbed of it. Maybe it was another blizzard.
Cold.
Or maybe something just didn't work out correctly. Now there's another cave up here I can warm up in, but it'll be a lot faster to warm up in the trailer. So I think we'll eat some of the damage. I will
I'm freezing.
kind of walk closer to the cave, because we already looted sticks and birch bark on the way in, over kind of along the river over there. So now we'll do more along the wall on the way back. It's actually pretty bad for my fuel situation. We may not even come back with enough sticks to cover our costs. Double sticks. Not gonna complain. Normally wouldn't go all the way over here, but oh, it wasn't a double stick. Unfortunate. So there's 3 fir limbs here. Only I could get the burn bonus while harvesting those. Alright, we've taken enough damage. I'd rather actually get healed up to full tonight. So this is pretty much stuff we covered on the way in, I think. Probably didn't see this because they were behind a tree. Alright, let's head back. Alright, still got that meat on me. Leave that in the trailer when we get back. Come on. And yeah, I have a ton of food stored here. Actually tempted to take some of this back with me, because we're so low at home. Alright, let's step in here and get situated. So we've got a chair. I think that's probably what we'll work on. Actually, let's harvest all these. Any that are bad, and any bad ones I have on me. Take these cured guts back. And I guess leave this here. Just in case the blizzard ends. We'll cut down on my scent a bit. Oh, it's going to be dark soon. Alright, so it's only going to be a few of those. Let's go ahead and take this down now. So 29 minutes or 45. Let's just do the 45. Yeah, I figured that wouldn't quite warm me up anyway. Save the damage on the hatchet. Alright, we'll just harvest these until we're fully warm and then head back. And did I eat yet? I don't remember eating. Oh, they're all about the same. Well, I'm kind of glad I didn't go for the bear now, because I probably would have gotten a few minutes into harvesting it, and then we would have had the blizzard start. Although, as we've seen in another series, the weather is not always deterministic, so taking some other actions might have resulted in something completely different happening. Alright, now I'm probably not confident enough in my navigation skills to go up high, so we'll just take the blizzard-friendly route back. Unfortunately, I think we're going to be walking right into the wind up here, and I gotta get off this slope so we don't sprain. I think I've checked those areas for birch bark recently. Well, well, well. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna carry as much of this meat as I can back. so we can cook it at home. And I'm going to kill any wolves that we see, I think. Now, given that I'm carrying all that food, maybe I should leave some of the cooked food here. So now I want to use this good weather, these high temperatures, to go get firewood. But we got to get back to Frankie first. I've kind of lost track of how much time exactly. I mean, it's only been 26 minutes in the recording, so I guess technically, since we left at 6 minutes, we can't possibly have used more than 4 hours. No, that's not true, because I spent a bunch of time. Yeah, that's the issue. I passed all that time on various harvesting type things and crafting. So yeah, we just have to go back and we have to reset. I was doing some thinking off camera. And so a cedar like this, you spend an hour and you get 3 hours worth of fuel. And that's not counting all the various, like the cold and the fire starting level. But so just using that value, if breaking down a branch by hand takes 10 minutes, then in the hour that you harvest a cedar, you could break down 6 branches. So that would be 18 sticks. And
Gotta warm up somehow.
8 sticks gives you an hour worth of fuel. So, they're not equivalent. The cedar is an improvement, but it's not much of one, because it's when you break down the cedar, it essentially gives you 18 sticks versus the 24 sticks that you would get from breaking down all those branches. But of course, the nice thing about the branches is you're not spending your hatchet, and it's finer tuned, so you can do things like carry a torch with you, or just have more control over not getting caught in heavy winds and stuff like that. So in some sense, it's not really worth it to break down cedar, and it would make more sense to essentially have 2 types of trips. Trips I make with the hatchet,
So cold.
where I go specific places and chop all the fur that's there. And trips that I make without the hatchet, just carrying the knife for wolf struggles, where I just go around and break down all the branches that I can possibly find. Now, that'll be a lot easier once I get my other bearskin coat done. Alright, let's see where we stand here. I think I want to cook up this. I actually need to replenish my sticks here, so let's throw that on. Let's drop all of these. Now this meat is nearly ruined. Alright, let's go into the corner here, kind of. Oh, this is just gonna pile on top of everything. Alright, let's start cooking wolf meat. Okay, first of all, put this bow away. That button. Thank you. Nope, it didn't go away. Okay, I seem to have finally put my bow away. Alright, and let's just drop these out here for a minute, I guess. And take that one. Put it here. Okay, so we're nearly warmed up. Let's get, I don't know why I started this. We need to leave. So let's make a tea. Birch bark. Yeah, because this is like ideal weather for chopping. I can get maybe 1 fur limb done, and then I'll probably lose my light. So maybe we go up top. I know there's a fur limb up there. This one hasn't respawned yet. Yeah, I don't want to go hunt the bear until it's, like, colder. And I don't, I can't as easily go gather fuel. Let's actually make a second one of these. And let's drop these. That one's already hot. Okay. So in 5 minutes, we'll take all that stuff. Let's throw... What do I have in the way of fuel? Yikes. Oh yeah, I've got all these sticks. Let's drop those down here. And we'll do cleanup for some of these edge cases. In a way, maybe what I need to be doing is a big stick run. Which means I don't want to go up there. I don't want to go that way. I think I want to go across and kind of loop through some areas that I haven't been recently. Possibly down closer to... Yeah, let's walk down the tracks a bit and go kind of in between Forlorn Muskeg and Trappers. I think that's a good idea. Alright, so we can throw one more stick on here and get a torch going. Okay, let's just drop the rest of this stuff here. These. Put this away. Get a torch out. Huge process. Okay. I'll carry a stick with me, it's fine. Yeah, because it's going to stay warm for a while, but we don't have light for a long time, so I might chop one fir limb. And then just walk around collecting sticks. Really been on the back foot as far as fuel goes for quite a while now.
It's dusk, so I can't be far behind.
Double checking carry weight there. I forgot to bring any food with me. We have some at the... What's that place called? Something to do with logging, or I'm kind of broken down something. Here's some food. I guess we'll just go ahead and use this. That way I don't have to go straight to, it's not Forager's Remnant. What is it called? This is not the first time that this has happened to me. Well, you know the place I mean. It's just the broken down little cabin up here. Yeah, we need to restock this whole area with food eventually. Alright, so the temperatures are very warm, but I'm still going to drink one birch bark. Oh, and I think they're... Oh, we have a respawn here. Nice. I think I remember seeing a fir limb over here, too. Yeah, so there's a fir limb back. We've also got a wolf that is... If I do this, I'm going to lose my torch. I'm tempted to... Let's throw this down over here. I'm tempted to carry this wolf back with me, but I don't think that's going to be possible. Yeah, alright, let's kill this wolf, and then, chop this fir limb. Go and drink the birch bark. Alright, buddy. Oh, I can't see with the restore condition thing. Oh, shoot. I should have just gone and picked up my arrow. There we go, I got him. Extra archery point. Intended. So I got an arrow. Is there another one? Did I get 2 arrows out of that? Or what happened? Did the first one break? Yeah, the first one broke. Okay. Oh, that reminds me. Somebody pointed out an arrow on the ice over there. I need to check for that on the way back. I walked like right over it, and there's obviously an arrow. Okay, let's do this first. Yeah, and we're just gonna let this go out. Which means that actually it's gonna get pretty cold quickly here. Down to -9. Yeah, that thermos would actually be pretty handy, now that I think about it. Especially before I get my other bear coat crafted. I was originally a little down on it. But given that I don't usually chop more than 3 or 4 limbs anyway, on these little excursions, having those 3 or 4 drinks that stay warm for, I don't know exactly how long it is. I've heard 3 hours, I've heard 5 hours. I think some people got confused because they apparently, the timer doesn't start to tick down until you,
if I don't warm up soon.
Until you leave the fireside. Alright, I'm gonna do a little loop here. I'll head back up in a minute. I just want to gather some more sticks before we head in. And then I might go inside camp office and get an hour of crafting done, and then try to come back out and break down some branches or something before we head home. These are all cedar. I mean, cedar isn't the worst thing either. Alright, let's scout out and see if there's any branches and sticks close to camp office. If there are branches, then we'll warm up enough to come back out and do some more. Otherwise, I might just head back. I guess there's no downside, really, to going in and crafting a little bit with this little bit of light, since I can't use it for anything else, really. I don't see any sticks or branches or anything. Oh, there's a branch up there. Alright, so I'll remember that. Maybe. That on the way out we might want to do that. Now, do I even have... Probably not. I need the black bear hide. Uh-oh. Is this... I'm a little confused. Why does it say 2 guts? Okay, so this is showing the correct amount. Alright, let's put in, like an hour or something. Make a little more progress here. Oh, it's already dark. Oh yeah, it is right about there. Okay, well, forget that then. I'm gonna put my bearskin hide away and go home. Bear hide. Cured gut. We probably don't need any more here. I can organize this later in the light, but I remember that I have this. And then, yeah, I guess we head home now. Yeah, no point in hanging around inside, so since I didn't warm up enough to get that branch, I'm not going to bother. Okay, so I think now actually is when we go get the bear. And it'll be interesting to see how my harvesting process is affected by the new mechanics. Because you can no longer cancel the meat harvesting, so it might be harder for me to line up the amounts to get the clean quarter. And I don't even know for sure if you can do partial quartering like you could before. I hope so.
This is so cold. I just want to lay down for a bit.
Oh, I forgot again. I need to be looking for the arrow on the ground, which I might have already passed. And I forgot to grab some. There's a big pile of coal over there that somebody told me about that maybe I got it last episode. Everything's starting to blur together. And I forgot to take that to the camp office. Oh well. Okay, yeah, we were barely away at all. I don't think... Let's just leave one for on me. We're gonna put the other two here. Let's go ahead and get started on a wolf meat. Just while I'm getting organized here. Clothing-wise... Now these are definitely... Yeah, they repair for 40%, so I should probably do both of those very soon. This, I think, is not as crucial. That still repairs for the max amount. Wow, my clothing is getting torn up. It's hard to keep up with everything. I wonder if at a certain point, if I'm just swimming in fuel, if it will actually be more effective to just go sleep inside for 10 hours at a time. Well, I guess it would be easier to just take the clothes off when I sleep at night, but that's annoying too. They're both annoying. They really should change the clothing decay rate so that you're not incentivized to constantly take your clothes off every night and put them back on in the morning. Is that the bear? Or is that a wolf? If that's the bear. This is probably a really good time to go try to get it. I think that might be the bear out in the middle of the ice there. Alright. Changing plans again. These are never going to get cooked. Let's make a, Actually, that's a really bad idea. I want that on me, so we'll put this down. Make a tea. Eat a tea. You don't need the reishi teas. Just throw some sticks on. We don't need a lot. I actually should really cut my weight down. Oh yeah, he's there. Alright, let's go see if we can do this. Now unfortunately there's not going to be light in the cabin. So maybe what I should do is lead him back here. Or I could just go sleep for a couple hours. I need a bunch of sleep anyway. That might be the preferable way to do this. I don't really want to mess around with leading him all the way back. This is going to take way too long, I think. Hello? That got his attention. Yeah, the nice thing about going over here is I have like a completely guaranteed safe spot to run to. So I think we'll just ditch the torch, and we don't really need the teas either. Okay. I'm gonna take a shot from here and then just run, I think. It's a little risky. Let him get a little closer. Not in any particular hurry. Yeah, leading him all the way over to that spot would just take too long. Set this up pointing roughly at my target if I were to leave here. Need to get a bunch of those set up. Alright, let's take a shot. Not really happy with my aim. That was almost bad. Okay, let's just take a 3-hour nap, maybe? It doesn't really matter that much. I guess I could break down some crates by hand in here just to spend some of the time and then just take a 2-hour nap. I'm not 100% certain I hit him in the head, so it might be a longer bleed out time. Any more crates? I guess I should have kept my torch alive just for this. There's a crate. Wait. Oh, broom. I wanted the crate. I was like, why can't I use my my hands on the crate? There's not enough light to just use your hands. You have to use a tool. No, that's not how it works. Alright, let's just sleep for 2 hours in here. I want to make sure that he bleeds out before I leave the cabin, because otherwise there may be a bug. And I can't check on the journal, because the journal won't update until I actually enter the region. Actually, just out of curiosity, because this isn't going to give me any real information, but I do want to see how this works in case we get the thing where he doesn't spawn in until I leave the cabin area again. You may have seen that in a much earlier episode. So right now I've killed 4 bears, so this is bear number 5. Let's leave while crouched. Yeah, so I don't see him at all. And if we go to the journal, you can see it says bears killed 4. So I believe what's going to happen is as I walk away from here, once I get far enough away for him to spawn in, he'll spawn in and immediately die. And then it'll go to bears killed 5. But they didn't want him to spawn in, like if you're right next to the cabin. This is my theory. Or maybe he despawned, and this time it'll just be... It actually waited for me to get close. That's funny. So it did work the way I expected, but for the wrong reasons. That did not give me my arrow back, interestingly. Unless I missed the prompt, but I'm pretty sure I did not get my arrow back. Let's go see if my arrow is over here. Somewhere between the cabin and where he would have been when I entered. Because it could have, like, when he despawned over there, could have dropped out of him, I guess. Or perhaps it's another broken arrow. So he would have been somewhere over here. Heading in this way. This is perhaps not the best light to be searching for an arrow.
Take a fire. Take a hot fire. Yeah.
There it is. So yeah, it was stuck in him, and that's where he was when I entered the cabin, I guess.
Starting to feel numb.
Alright, let's head home. I guess I might grab a hacksaw. for harvesting all this meat. Just because I think we're still not carcass harvesting 5, so with it 100% frozen, I mean, that's a lot of meat. This is also going to completely solve all of our food problems for a while. And let me just see here. Right now it's negative 16.
It's a goddamn freezing.
I don't know how the new mechanics work, and so for that reason, I think I'm going to start a fire. Just in case it, like, locks me into the quartering, I don't really want to take 2 hours of cold damage. And it seems like that little bit of wind has calmed down a bit, so this might be a good time to do it. And then we'll transport the quarters in the morning. Okay, so I got a book and a coal for a nice warm fire over there. Don't really need teas. We can heat teas up over there if necessary. My hacksaw is there. I've got just stuff all over the place here. I guess I should have taken my bad bow, but I forgot. And I'm going to be gone long enough, I don't think I can really cook anything here. Let's go ahead and make another tea. Just while we're getting warmed up here. Maybe harvest some bad torches or something. Try to get a little bit of homework done. Some arrows, maybe. It's really late. I might actually... What's my health like? We have some birch bark tea. We might end up pulling an all-nighter and waiting until tomorrow night to sleep and just relying on birch bark tomorrow. Got enough health. I really wanted to go over to Coastal Highway, though. We'll see. Alright, gonna take that, and let's add another stick, and head over. We'll just take a torch. It's fine. Yeah, the one thing is it's gonna be a nightmare trying to transport this meat. With no energy. I guess if I sleep tomorrow night, though, then it'll only be here for like 36 hours, and then it'll get transported. That's not that bad. Transported and harvested. Alright, do I have any information on which way the wind is coming from? Maybe over there? We'll go for this. Use a book, 100% chance.
Perfect.
Okay, let's see what we're dealing with here. 33.5, so I want to harvest 3.5 of this before we start the quartering, and I think I'm just going to do that. Let's use the knife, since it's not frozen. And I think I have to do it... Let's do this. So what I'm concerned about is if it's actually rounding. I think this will work. I can't cancel, but I think this should deal with any potential rounding errors. So that should get the exact amount that's over 30 that's on here. So let's grab that. Let's take 30 minutes.
I need to find a place to rest.
Okay, so let's grab a couple of these on here. That's the small one. Now, hopefully it'll let me... those might end up burning if this doesn't let me cancel. But if we go to quarter, and we use the hacksaw, 2 hours. Now, what I want to know is... Okay, so I can cancel. The question is... Okay, so it does save my progress. So that was 30 minutes worth of quartering? Yeah. Let's do another 30. Although... Oh, you can't see your progress, so you really don't know how much time you put into it. Well, that's enough. We got these. Now I can just finish it next time. So put this on. Yeah, that won't burn. Fire might go out, but this is the last thing we need to do anyway. Hour and 10 minutes. Okay. Here's my hide. Let's grab this before it burns. Not gonna happen anytime soon, apparently. I don't think it's worth trying to cook that up. Let's just kind of set that over there. Grab some free feathers. Now, is it worth? Nah, I think I'll just take them to camp office. We kind of cleared most of the wolves out of this area. I've got my hide. Let's just leave the cooked meat here. Let's take one of these. Yeah, that seems reasonable. And then I guess if we're pulling an all-nighter anyway, which it seems is likely at this point. I might get really lightweight. Leave a bunch of stuff I don't need behind and carry 2 quarters at a time back. I think they weigh 10 kilos. Okay, so this did work out to exactly 5. Okay, let's leave this far enough out that it actually freezes. I think that's going to get more frozen over time. What else am I carrying? Guts. I think we'll take those to camp office in the morning, along with this. And the hide. Let's put these ingredients away while I'm thinking about it. I've got these 2 cured guts. Oh, that's the other thing we need to do. We need to go forge. My hatchet's at 30%, which is not great. I think this is the lower one, right? Yeah, that's at 27%. Okay, so these are like decent torches, right? Okay, so this is all stuff I want to pick back up. We don't need the knife, the arrows, the bow, the hacksaw. Time is it? It's now officially morning. How long have these been sitting here? I don't know what the deal is with that. Alright, what else is putting me overweight? Pretty happy with food situation. I could leave some of my clothing behind, but that seems like a disaster.
Think of fire.
Okay, we're at 18.5.
Fire. I can lay down and have a little sleep right here.
Alright, let's heat up a tea, and then we'll go grab some more of this stuff. I don't know, maybe this is foolish. Maybe I should just wait until I'm fully rested. Yeah, I'm thinking I like that idea. Let's just go craft. Because it's morning, we have light. We'll throw some more fuel on the fire, and we'll head over and craft. So I'm going to pick all this up. We're going to leave the hacksaw here. And I can harvest that broken arrow, so we can leave some ingredients. Need some more water. Cooked. Now let's take some more food over to camp office. And more water. Okay. Nope. Definitely do not want to sleep. We are forgoing sleep for right now. Okay, one more stick and we'll go. Not that this needs to be maxed out, but you never know. Maybe there's a blizzard later and I decide to stay for longer, so I just want to know exactly how much time I have. Okay, we're going to take all this stuff.
What do you know? Looks like I survived another night.
Now, I likely only want to work for maybe 5 or 6 hours. And if I keep it short enough, then we can go upstairs and grab a fir limb on the way back. I did kill the wolf over there. There could be wolves on the train tracks over there that could head my way, though. Actually, with the amount of stink on me, I could be tracking them from even further away than that, but they wouldn't likely get here in time unless they were that close. Alright, let's have right in front here be the meat location. So we're going to drop that. And let's just go to the food tab. Probably eat that in a second.
The cold is making my head feel thick.
So let's go ahead and head inside. We no longer need the torch. I guess anything that's cured I can take back with me. We no longer need them for crafting, other than the bear stuff. So, bear hide. Let's drop these fresh rabbit pelts. And then it's just the fresh bear hide and the guts. Let's eat. These are done. Probably grab a few of these to take home with me. Forgot I had this stuff here. Well, this is the wrong time to take it back. Maybe I should put all this on the workbench so I don't forget it later. Okay. We got food and water. Move this out here. That's cured. Alright, we got 1 million cured birch and maple. Alright. Now, I guess technically what I should be doing is keeping up with my arrows. I probably have ingredients now. Yeah, I should have at least 1 arrowhead from the one that I harvested. How long does it take to harvest that? Oh, I don't have an arrowhead on me. Wonder what happened to it. Maybe I never got around to harvesting that. Anyway, I'm not going to worry about it. Let's just go ahead and, we have, 3 arrows. That's enough for most purposes. We're about to forge 2 more arrowheads, so I'll just do a batch of that at some point. Alright, grab the black bear hide, and let's get crafting. Time of day, I can probably do like 3 hours. Where do I go on this? Because it doesn't really matter. Just do 3.5. There's some wind. Might keep working through the wind. Let's see how bad it is. Oh yeah, full blizzard. So let's put another couple hours in. Call it 1.5, so we're up to 5 hours on crafting. Okay. Might have stopped. Alright. Let me leave my stuff behind, and then we'll go. So that's a total of 5 hours on crafting, so we do have time if I want to go do the one thing upstairs before we head home. I need to put this away. The rest of those are coming back with me. We have barely enough carry weight. That's fine. I could put away a few scraps, but probably not worth it. Okay. Let me double check the temperature here and see if we actually want to spend an entire hour chopping a fir limb. -7. -8. Yeah, okay. I think we can do this. May take a little bit of damage, which is not ideal given the circumstances, but I mean, all we did was walk over there, mess around for maybe half an hour, spend 5 hours crafting, so we spent maybe 6 or 7 hours on the fire. So we got more than enough time. My one concern is that this walk is going to be so long. I hope I remember correctly that we've got that 1 fir limb left up here. This walk is actually a little bit annoying to do, with no energy at all. Because those areas where you're trying to bypass the sprain risk, some of them are long enough that it's just a lot easier to do it if you can run a little bit. It looks like we're going to be fine here. And yes, realistically, even if I get a sprain, it's not like we're going to be able to run until we sleep anyway, but the big advantage to not having sprains is I can just quickly take a sip of coffee and cancel, and I can immediately run, which could be pretty useful if I get into like a bad situation with a wolf or something like that. Speaking of, okay, I don't have anything on me. So there should be that one fur limb. Now the question is, can I get down to 1 down? -7. Alright, we're gonna go warm up first just to try to avoid taking any damage. Not gonna take long. Got food and water up here as usual. Now I could go check to see if there's a actually, we've got some things to work on. Let's look at the broken arrow. Harvest that. I think I threw down my bad torch. Let's see, what else do we have? Nothing to prep. Oh, I actually do have stuff to prep. Forgot about the extra birch bark. Alright, let's just do all this. That should be plenty of time. Okay, let's go chop this limb and head down. And then I gotta decide. I think we're gonna want to keep harvesting firewood until nightfall. It looks like I probably could have gotten away without the extra sleep. Or the extra warmth. -3 with the new bear coat, it would be actually warm right now. Yeah, late afternoon, early evening, with this sort of medium level fog. It's extremely powerful. We have extra sprain risk, we can't run, and we somehow made it down there without a sprain. Crazy. Alright, Frankie. Let's get charged up, and then, I don't want to walk far. Maybe just across the tracks over there, we can go try to get some of those fur limbs. Yeah, so that fur almost paid for my crafting expedition. I'm gonna grab a few more torches off of here, so we should be able to throw another fur on. Let's cook one of those latest birch bark teas. And get the others heated up. Kind of need to be using these, if only to offset the extra damage I'm taking from being tired. Make sure to eat. And we're actually pretty much out of food here, so before we turn in tonight, we're going to have to do some cooking, I think. Cooking and maybe some clothing repairs at the same time would be a good idea. Okay, I don't think we're going to be gone that long, but just to be safe. $11.53 is probably good enough. I can add in between $11.50 and $11.49, so Yeah, that's fine. And we'll grab all these and head out. Double check my carry weight here. Oh, we're pretty much at capacity. That's not good. Oh, right, I've still got all those ingredients. I'm really glad I thought of that. So put this away. And all these clothing things go down to this tab. All the cured deer hide, cured guts, cured rabbit pelts. I forgot to drop the sapling. Oops. That out here. Okay, now let's grab everything and go. Add a stick. 11:55 will have to do. I think that might have been the fur limb back. So we'll get that sometime when we don't have such a great opportunity to go a little further. Really warm right now. Cut carry weight by drinking some water. I think I hear ptarmigans up there. So thinking some more about the fire and the fur limb harvesting thing, it's kind of unfortunate. It works out exactly the opposite of the way you would want. I guess maybe I need to be leaving earlier in the day. Because, like, right now, the deal is I walk out, I have a fire with me. But it's so warm that I don't, like, need to use a fire. And if I chop a fur limb, then I lose my fire. But then later in the day, when it actually starts to get colder, like later into the late evening, that's when I would actually need the warmth, not to mention the light. So maybe the trick is I need to be leaving like before noon and using the fire for a few limb chops, like a few fur limbs. I forgot about this wolf meat here. I think we'll probably just ignore this and just go for the bear. So, like, I could set my fire down, spend a coal, chop a fur limb, do that 1 or 2 times, and then later when it warms up, like closer to noon or even afternoon, that's when I would just let my fire go out. I think that's going to be the sort of most efficient way to make use of everything. Not to mention, when I let my fire go out, the last thing I can do is heat up some teas and put them in a thermos, if I ever manage to find one. I think we're going to be constantly evolving new strategies for a while here. This is going to be a relatively short trip just because I'm not going to be able to afford to carry much anyway. Hopefully I didn't let this go out. Very close. Alright. We don't need it for the warmth, but I'm going to drink 1 tea. And yeah, I guess maybe this won't be a chopping trip. Maybe this is just a stick trip. It's probably about as far as I can go without risking losing the warmth from the teas. So we'll have one here. That'll keep me going for the next hour to 2 hours. And with all these sticks I'm finding, that's as much as I'm going to be able to do anyway. Gonna run out of carry capacity. I wonder, because this is coming up. Is that the rail there? No, the rail's up there. This is the edge of the zone. Okay. I was wondering if I had already collected sticks from this area, but I think we just walked through a blank area. Oh man, it'd be -5 without the torch. I think since we're over here, we do want to grab at least one of these limbs. Got a 46%er. That would actually last for a good amount of the duration. Yeah, let's do that. Just to keep some of that warmth while we chop this. We're going to start heading back after this. Now the question is, at -6, considering the amount of warmth I have left, do I dare chop another fir limb? We're about to sleep. We've got more birch bark teas. We're not that far from home. Let's just do it. Yeah, we're going to take a little bit of damage. Now we're super heavy. I'll just go up this way. We don't really want to pick up anything else right now anyway. Let's save a little bit of weight by getting rid of that. We can collect it later. So now I've made progress on the firewood front, but now I've got two major tasks that really need doing. One is I've got to go forge a new hatchet because this one is almost out. I think I do have a whetstone or two sort of squirreled away, but I'd prefer not to use those unless I absolutely have to for some reason. And we've also got that bear to harvest. Fortunately, all that's left is just harvesting the meat, which once we're fully rested in the morning, we'll just go grab those quarters and bring them over. That shouldn't take too much time, I don't think.
It's getting dark out here. Time to look for shelter.
But that's actually the first thing I need to do. So they don't go bad. Yeah, so just thinking through this trip. If I had the thermos, and I had all my clothing, and I started this trip much earlier in the day, what probably would have happened is I walked over there, I would have gathered all those sticks, I would have started a fire near one of the fir limbs. Possibly I would have started a fire near one, chopped a different one, then come back and chopped that one. To sort of get both of them with one fire. Then it would have been getting a bit warmer, so I would have heated up my drinks, put them in my thermos, and then I would have been able to go on and collect possibly several more fir limbs and more sticks before finally looping back around. And then I could either put my satchel on towards the end so that my carry weight would be higher, or I could even like leave piles of stuff and eventually come around with the travois. I don't think it's worth, if I build the travois, I don't think it's worth like taking it on every trip. I think it would just be like a occasional collection trip type of thing. Alright, so we just locked in a save point here. I'm going to possibly, maybe I should just break down this chair. How much time did I spend out there? Chopped 2 limbs. I think I don't have any, like, smaller, easy items. Actually, if I had a short item, an hour and 18, I don't really want to use the hatchet right now. Otherwise, I would definitely consider doing that. I think we'll just get a tiny bit more warmth and just head out. I just wanted to stop bleeding condition. But yeah, it's so warm right now that we only need a little bit of warmth and then we can walk home.
My fingers feel numb.
And actually, if that fur limb did indeed respawn, then that's what we go do now. Get even more fuel out of this beautiful evening. It's kind of crazy just how much the exhaustion is the limit here. Because I don't usually think of that as being a big deal, especially on Interloper.
Too cold.
Did I imagine?
Think.
No, there's definitely something over there. Maybe it's just the branch? I think they both usually respawn around the same time. Wow. That whole trip only took a little over 2 hours. Crazy. Yeah, so it would have been more than fine to break that chair down by hand. Alright, let's get rid of these. And we actually really need food, so I guess what I can do is I can cook, I'm gonna bring this over. And let's actually grab the hacksaw. Yet again. I'm just gonna harvest some of this with the hacksaw while we warm up. I want the I want this meat because it takes longer to cook. So while I go over there, it can be cooking. Okay, let's make sure this stays frozen. Come to think of it, let's just drink a, actually, let's drink one of these. So we're about to sleep. Must have forgotten to drop off the sticks or something, because I'm still heavy. But no scent. Chop this. Light might be an issue. I didn't think of that. Fortunately, I just got it in time.
Jesus, this is cold.
I'm not wind sheltered here, otherwise I would grab that branch. Actually, let's just eat this now. So in the morning, we'll need to do some cooking and eating and transportation and all that nonsense. But for right now, I think we can just tuck in for the night here. Let's go ahead and drop the rest of these. I'll save the fur to throw on in the morning. Okay, so we just need water. We already drank our tea. Yep. Okay. Let's call it a night. Frankie's good. "10 hours. Get some good healing here. Ooh, I wanted to check this. So, what are we sitting at condition-wise? Might be impossible to tell. 49? Maybe? It could be a little bit higher than that. Yeah, it's really impossible to tell. I'm gonna have to test this some other time. Throw another stick on the fire. Okay, did I get thirsty enough to drink again? Maybe. Alright, for real this time. Sleep 10 hours. Alright, I think it's best, since that's likely to be the last good save point we have for a while, I think it's best to end the episode here. In the next one, I think the plan is to spend today dealing with all the bear meat, and then potentially doing a little more firewood harvesting. And then tomorrow we need to get fully rested and head over to the forge and make another hatchet. That's a pretty crucial step at this point because both of our hatchets are in bad shape. And I actually may end up making a trip to the cannery to repair the hatchets a lot sooner than I thought I would. So we'll need to go ahead and do the setup for that as well. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Thanks for watching.